some of the emerging technologies, and the century is here. So what are we doing now? This last part of the 20th century, we've witnessed a major acceleration in terms of scientific and technological advancement. The advent of internet, of course, we do know now, the social media, these are moving fast. So we should be, all of us should really be so in tune with social media and figure out how to use it to reach and extend our markets. Awareness. If you were to go to Joburg and drive 2 hours on Joburg to Kwakwa, I don't know how many of you have been to Kwakwa? Do you know Kwakwa, right? How many have been to Kwakwa, KWA? Because, it's about 2 hours right from.
We have seen.
Sorry?
It's Kwakwa.
Okay. Kwakwa is a very. I drove to Kwakwa when I was on one of my trips. You find these beautiful people everywhere you go, but they are secluded. They don't even have access to safe drinking water to start with. Then that was I forgot what year was that. I could have been 2016, I believe, or earlier. Imagine. And I went from Kwakwa, I went to Lady Smith, and I saw this big plantation. I wouldn't go there, but this plantation is a plantation with all the amenities, and I found our people serving this plantation owner. Even in this 21st century, I was so angry with this colleague of mine. So I said, what are you doing? What are these people serving you for? What is this? I really pushed. I said, why are you doing this? Why are you using our people to serve you in a plantation that is owned by African people? I was so angry that day. I've never been so angry because I went to Kwakwa and then went to Lady Smith, I think that's what it's called, and saw this beautiful landscape. And I saw our people serving and bowing down to this white person. I honestly, I'm just going to be very blunt with you. That's not what we need to be doing. It has to be mutual respect for all races, for all work. So what we're trying to do here is an open science. It's a transformation. When I say open science means having to have rigor. What you do in the laboratory, put some rigor and translate that to a patent that could lead to commercialization. Even in my position, you may think I'm really embedded in research. I have my doctoral students. In fact, I have 2 of them graduating December, this coming in a few days. So I have my own doctoral student. Even though I still serve for the whole school, I still have my research laboratory. I have a patent on using microbial systems to detoxify contaminants. It's patented, it's been used in the field. I have a new patent that uses, we've developed for aquaculture feedstock. I have a joint patent with one of my colleagues on using using drones to do underwater drones. So these are the kinds of things that I do just so others can emulate in my school. So our open science experience in my school is how we can make global impacts, and expanding our network. That's what MUT is doing now with Ike. I want to commend the organizers of the MUT International Week. Our dear friend, you guys know Ms. Mbali, a hardworking woman. You guys know, you know her. So this is why this International Week at MUT is so important, because we are living in an interconnected world. We have to make global impacts. We have to expand our networks. We have to have all those networks have meaning to all of us. That's what this MUT Week is all about. And that's what you're doing already. Anyway, uh, this is our research at our university. We have we do not use Microsoft Teams. I'm wondering if how is my slide viewed? Are you able to even see anything from my slide, people? Is it
Yes,
visible?
Prof, your slide is okay. I'm seeing it. It's fine.
Okay, thank you. Right.
All is
So
fine.
our research experiences in my school. These are the key areas: microbial ecosystems, biotechnology. We have the Center for Coastal and Marine Ecosystems Research. These are the various areas where we do shine. Everyone have to have their niche. When I ask you, what is your name? I don't mean your real name, your name that you have, like Victor Ibanusi. I'm asking what's your swag? What's your ID? How do we identify you? What do you do? I'm asking what makes you shine. You know, that's what I mean. So this is our key areas. This is our swag. This is our key areas. What we strive to do, my friends, is we are striving to have a legacy of excellence, and I think we have made some strides in those areas. We just recently, think about it, my friend, just recently, for the past 15 years, we have been receiving funding from the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. We're receiving like 5 million every year. Imagine that, 5 million every year. Now, just last few months, they gave us $30 million. No competition anymore, because we have proven ourselves that we have the experience, the competency to be able to manage a national agency for the United States. So we do have, at the School of the Environment, the Center for Coastal and Marine Ecosystem. And by the way, this center, the principal investigator, I don't want to own that, the principal investigator of that center is our president, Dr. Larry Robinson, a dear friend of MUT, a very good dear friend of MUT. Larry Robinson has he and I had grants in the past that enabled us to come to MUT. So he's the principal investigator. And I'm just taking, I cite that because if as the president, he's doing what he's doing, imagine I as the dean and other deans, we have no choice. So we have no choice. He has set the example. That's what institutions must do. That's what you must do as leaders in your school, in your university. You must set the tone. Otherwise, nothing really happens. Listen, my friends, you know it. I'm preaching to the choir that we are so fortunate. We are the folks on the helm of things. We can't blame the government. We can't blame this person. System is not working. Okay, who's going to fix it? Internet is not working. Okay, tell me who's going to fix it? The power is, okay, all of those excuses is in the history. So everybody should play their part so that others know to improve where we are with our technology. Of course, we are within the academic institution. We have to put rigor to our research using the open science mindset. Do everything you can to put rigor to it. That's so that you can have this excellence platform to thrive on. So the center, if you see this picture here, the gentleman here in the center is our president, Dr. Larry Robinson. These are all his students. And the kinds of work, ecosystem characteristics that the center does, water quality, a whole lot goes on in that and goes on in the center. With the new grant that we now have, we are receiving, our doctoral students can receive up to $90,000 90. So they get assistantship for $40,000. They get travel, supplies as a package. They get $90,000. Master students get $70,000. There's no provision yet for undergraduate, but I'm just giving you an example how we are using the money to train doctoral students. We have an area called the Aquatic and Terrestrial Ecology. Dr. Michael Martinez, he's always busy. This gentleman is always busy. He's in Puerto Rico. He's always in the sea. He's bioindicators, looking for bioindicators for contaminants of interest. He's a very dear faculty member in my school, Dr. Michael Martinez, very, very good hard worker, just like every one of you, nothing special, just as you guys do. The microbial ecosystem research, this is where I belong. This is where my work is in this arena. Microbial ecosystem, I truly believe, trust me, this is not, I believe that microbial systems are in the first line of defense in ensuring sustainable environment. They are in the first line. When you have situations, let's say you have major natural disaster, you have spill, and after people say, oh, wow, what's going on here? Come back again. After 4 or 5 days, everything is clear, like nothing happened. Who did the work? Who degraded the organic contaminants? Microbes. What system is responsible for the fixing of nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen to nitrate that supports life on Earth? You know, we humans, the way we obtain our protein, you know the story, is from nitrate production, right? And plants cannot even get atmospheric nitrogen, you know it. They depend on cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, to convert atmospheric nitrogen to nitrate before the plants can use it. Plants get the nitrate and convert it to food sources that we can now obtain for protein. So all the energy production, nutrient cycling, you know the story, are all microbes. We are using microbes to do great things. We are cloning them. We're using it to detoxify contaminants of interest. The list goes on. We use it to determine, and when we do what we do here, we want to determine how do they do it? What are the molecular mechanisms? What are metagenomics? How do we identify these useful system organisms? We use metagenomics. We look into proteomics, proteomics, trying to identify proteins of interest. A whole lot goes on. I remember one time I was at MUT. Trust me, this was one story. I don't think Mbali knows this. I was in your laboratory teaching some students on how to isolate protein from bacteria, right? And the power just went out. I came prepared because I thought that may happen. The power wasn't quite strong. That was the laboratory across on the other side. I have the picture in my mind. You guys have your science laboratory across the quadrangle. So I used a 9-volt battery. I used battery because I had some battery with me and hooked it up to the gel system. I didn't know it's going to work. Those 3 9-volt battery charged the protein gel system, and we start running and then we run our protein, no fuss. The students were so happy. I said, how did you do that, Doc? I said, well, you have to try. If I fail, we're all together on this, right? So that was a good experience. So we did our protein assay there. We also have biogeochemistry, another environmental biogeochemistry area. We have environmental policy areas, environmental justice. We do have a center called the Center for Environmental Equity and Justice in my school. Is set up by a legislative act. Ultimately, what we try to do is to have exceptional experiences for our students. We have in-laboratory work, we have field experiences, we take students to our oyster Spring Creek, where we correlating oyster production and water quality. As I speak today, I don't have the picture now. I don't have the pic now. We have a buoy, B-U-O-I, a buoy that we've deployed in the Gulf Coast, in the water, and we get in real-time data. Real-time data, as I'm speaking now, I have the data on my cell phone of all the water quality parameters. So if you want that data, I can send that to Dr. Bakari anytime, you know. So we are having real-time water quality data on dissolved oxygen, temperature, pH, conductivity, total solids, nitrates, what else? Oxygen reduction potential, ORP, all those major parameters. I have all of that on my cell phone every 24/7 right now. So those will be the kinds of work that if Dr. Bakari and is looking to having research collaborative work and say, Dr. Barisi, what is the water quality at the Gulf Coast? 24/7. I can even have him have access to it and tap into it. So those are the kinds of things that we could do together. You know, this is the future is here. I'm serious that the future is here, and we must act. As you all know, I'm leading the effort on the energy, water, food nexus as a new science enterprise globally. This picture you see here is my trademark. It's a trademark being offered by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So this is not see, everything we do it by design. It's not just a design artwork here. It's a trademark that I own. That's what we do so that we can put rigor to what we do. This is our we have a PhD degree program. We have a PhD degree. These are the curriculum right there. We also have the master's degree. We have a BS degree in environmental science. We also have a BS degree in environmental studies. So this is where I want to pause. I really want to have MUT students come to our school, the 3+2 program. This is where I really want us to, now that you've seen my slides, what do you have to do? This is your challenge right now. I've offered you what we can do. My hope is that the international week that you're having to do today and this week throughout will give you an opportunity to explore coming to our university. There are two ways. One, I would want to see some of your undergraduate students come to our school. They can spend 2 years at MUT and then 3 years, because I said 3 years, so that instead of the 4 years, they might just do 2 and then 3 in our university because of the transition, and get their first degree in our school. You can decide to say, okay, why don't we just making sure we have 10 students every year? That's how you want to do it. Let's just train the best. Let's get the best of our students to come to FAMU. 10 of them, you select them. They should have good STEM background in chemistry and math and physics, and they should have a good STEM background, right? So you send them over because they are your ambassadors. So that's one route. So I really look forward to that happening. I don't know, for me, when I see those students, they're so eager to learn. They were so eager to learn. And unlike here, these students are so, I don't know, they're so dressed up, very nice looking people, nice young students. They're so eager to learn. So if you having them to train, they have to, of course, I think South Africa speaks, you have to do I don't think they need TOEFL. I'm going to re-verify that. But for the graduate program, you have to do making sure you have your GRE. The minimum score is 300. You have to have, I think South Africa, because you speak English, you don't need TOEFL, taking English as a foreign language. You already have that already. Of course, your resume. Let me just pause here. Why don't you, as a university, it's okay, why don't we say to send over 10 undergraduate students and ask to the School of Environment, why don't we say, okay, let's plan to have 5 doctoral students every year? I don't know, please correct me, MUT doesn't have masters. Do you have master's degree programs, right? Do you? I believe you do. Dr. Bakari, do you have
Yeah.
master's degree programs?
Yeah, we do. We're doing some in the faculty, in our science faculty, for masters.
Okay. And there are also some of your instructors that may not have doctoral programs. So some of your instructors that may want to have their PhDs could also be candidates. So in my opinion, if you really want to grow your research enterprise, is to determine, okay, we're going to send 3 or 5 people for doctoral program. I don't care where they come from, but you make the selection. You come over, and they will get their work. They can work on laboratory, and we have faculty members in the areas I've shared with you. If I say these guys are from South Africa, nobody's gonna know. They'll be the king on the hill. We love South Africans. I'm not kidding with you. Like I said, I have a soft. I really like folks from South Africa. This is so clear to me. So when they come to South Africa, and we have an international studies office, Agnes Coppin, another good friend of MUT, our international office, because of the history of MUT and FAMU, oh my good God, if you're from South Africa, you're the king in the hill. That's not joking. That's not a joke. So Miss Mbali has created goodwill everywhere she's gone to. Because of the goodwill she's created, everybody loves Mbali because she has created a goodwill. You know Mbali, and she knows, Agnes Carpin knows her. They've been good friends for so many years. And now our new Vice President for International Studies Affairs knows about, as if he knows, he has not really met Mbali face to face, but the way he talks about MUT is like he knows everything about Mbali, because I also said Mbali has already created that goodwill for everybody, from our president. Think about it. It's very rare to have one person in their institution. Everywhere Mbali have gone. Even when I was at Spelman, everyone at Spelman knows Mbali. Everywhere she's been, I don't know, but I'm sure the same thing is true in all institutions where Mbali takes folks to. So you have a good research. So I believe that you already created that goodwill, that you need to explore it. So bring your students over, all right? And we are having our summit coming up this spring. Mbali will be serving as one of our moderators in one of the sessions. I don't think she knows that, and Bakari as well. This is coming up in spring, April. Please note this down. It's April 11 through the 13th. So there are 2 sessions where Mbali is going to serve as the moderator, and Dr. Bakari is going to serve in another session. I want to ask you to think about making your travel plans. I can send you guys letters of invite quickly as I can do it. And then you can create your own panel of 4 speakers. So I encourage you to bring students or presenters from not just from MUT, but from other universities in South Africa that you can bring to constitute your panel, right? You know how to do that, Bakari. So that's what's coming up in April. So I'm giving you a heads up, and the same is true with Ms. Mbali. So that's coming up in spring this year, April 11 to the 13. Hey, this is one of my This is Jordan. Jordan is just it's just, as you see her smile, she is, she made this musical video use Dangote, Dangote. This is a Nigerian music. She loves African music a lot, so she uses it for her social media platform. She's my student, she's a senior, and she's wanting to do her doctoral program. So she's one of my students promoting our international summit coming up soon. So I hope I can see all of you to our summit coming up in spring. So start to make your plans now, get vaccinated. We have boosters now. Do everything you can to get all those double vaccinations and ready to pack your luggage. I think I will just pause here. So my end of my talk, if you have questions, I have my platform. I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Of course, you know how to get to me. Thank you for being so nice and listening to me. It's a pleasure every time I stop here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Prof, for the talk, and thank you for sharing about your university. I think my colleagues here have learned a lot, even though myself personally have not been to FAMU, but through our engagement, I've known a lot about the university. And I know there are quite a lot of opportunities that MIT can tap into. Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for the presentation. And I think the last two slides where you showed the opportunity of student exchange, I believe Ms. Mbali will take that as an opportunity. We can look at a way in which we can get some of our students, even our staff, to come and do maybe their master's or PhD and see how that unfold in terms of collaboration. Colleagues, if you have any question for Prof. Mbanusi, I can't see hands. Maybe you can just unmute and then ask your question. Prof, can you unshare your slide if you can do that on your side? Maybe I can't see hands.
So stop sharing. So we don't use Microsoft Teams here. So I'm going to see. Let's see.
Okay, okay, I can see the ends now, colleagues. If there's any question for Prof. On my side, maybe people are still thinking on the question. Is there any opportunity for visiting scholars?
Are there what?
Like visiting scholars.
Oh, yeah. Visiting scholars, yes, of course. For example, Bakari, for someone like you, for example, you may want to come and spend some summer, for example. One of the things about exchange program, everyone has to have a skin to it. Everyone has to have a skin to international collaboration, meaning that MUT has to find a way to fund the trip. We can provide the laboratory space. We have quite some visitors that come in to do summer programs just to spend summer. You can work in any one of our laboratories with Ashvini Chauhan. We have so many work going on, so you can spend summer in that way. That's yes. To your question, yes. But the institutions have to play roles. For example, MUT has to really make a determination and say this is good for us university, and let's send Dr. Bakari or anyone else to come to FAMU. Because that's yes. To your question, yes, and we have to do that every time. Their home institution really finds the relevance of that and put their money where the mouth is, right? And of course, you have the laboratory space to work.
No, thank you, Prof. I can see Ms. Zama's hand. Is it for a question?
Thank you, Prof. Bakare. It's not a question, but I just raised my hand to appreciate the many positive things that Prof. Ebianusi has been saying about our brand. It's so heartwarming to know that we have ambassadors and we have people who really take us to such high regard as an institution. Thank you so much, and thank you for your participation. Your presentation was really much appreciated. We appreciate the hospitality to our institution. Thank you so much.
Oh, Zama, you make my heart so dear. You see, that's what about South. I don't think you guys know about South Africa. South Africa has a good history. You know that, right? So it's not for all of us who've experienced it, know the struggle. Even up to today, South Africa just past summer, for some reason, drought in South Africa. Think about it. In South Africa, I didn't tell you guys there's an NSF grant. It's called NEON, N-E-O-N, that we are submitting. Is coming up. Is due in January. Ms. Mbali, I don't think I told you about this. I included MUT in that proposal. I said we're going to be looking into the water scarcity in the African continental shelf, in the southern hemisphere of the African continent. It's still a proposal because in the proposal they were asking us to identify some of our international collaborators. I included MUT as number one. I have a list of institutions that I work with, but MUT is there. Zama, that's how I feel about you guys. All right, thank you for your comments too.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Zama. Thank you, Prof. Prof, I can't see any hands up to ask question. I want to believe colleagues attending this session have got a good grasp of your presentation. On behalf of MUT, is Ms. Mbali still here?
Yeah, I see she's raised her hand, correct, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would like her to just maybe do like a vote of thanks and round up the section for us. Ms. Mbali, if you are here, you can unmute.
Hi, thank you very much, Dr. Ebianusi, and also thanks Prof. Bakare for chairing this session. Colleagues, if really there was a person who has built capacity at MUT, it is Dr. Ebianusi. I'm not sure whether some of his students, like in the Faculty of Environmental Health, Dr. Achi Buthelezi, Mr. Tabani Mkize, who I understand has just attained his MA qualification, Ms. Xoli Lengubane, others have left like Mahe, but I just wanted to emphasize that the relationship that we have with Florida A&M is one of the best relationships. And I would like to encourage colleagues when they apply for grants that just rest assured if you put Florida A&M as your collaborator, you will definitely get the support, and you will get the support at a very top level of the President, Dr. Larry Robinson. Thank you very much, Dr. Ebianusi. I know it's quite early that side. We do appreciate your taking part in this International Week. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mbali.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. I think we can now end the section. Colleagues, thank you for your time. Thank you for availing yourself for this session. Prof, we'll keep in touch. Thank you very much. Bye, colleagues.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Colleagues. We have our next session at 3 o'clock. It's called Learning Design Thinking with Performance Integration and Systems Thinking for Learning Digital Expressions. That session is chaired by our very own Dr. Vikash Jagu, the head of Information and Communication Technology. It's starting at 3 o'clock. Please, if you can, hang around. It promises to be an interesting session. Thank you so much. See you at 3.
Greetings, Dr. Loretta. It's Vikash. How are you? I think you're muted.
Good morning and greetings. Good afternoon to you.
Good morning to you.
Yes.
Are you all good on your side?
Say that again.
Are you all good on your side?
Oh, I am. Would you like me to try to share?
Well, maybe we'll just hang on because just as part of my introduction, I'll do a quick share.
Okay.
And once I'm done, then you can come in with your screen share.
Thank you very much.
Just to make sure that you also share with sound because of the clip that you have.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So I think we will start in about 10 minutes.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'll turn my camera off.
Okay, great.